What's going on, man, with all those trucks out in the street? What's going on? Is this a conference or a marketplace, or what's going on?
Yeah, my favorite analogy of what the New Front is all about is an analogy to sports. There's a lot of conferences where you sit in a stadium and you're in chairs and you're watching something going on in a field. But the New Front really feels more like a golf event where you're actually on the field of play with the participants at the same time, and you feel really connected to it. So we developed this to be a marketplace. Absolutely, it's sort of the answer to the upfronts, where we are constantly sharing content and allowing producers to help monetize that content. But what we do differently is we actually bring the content producers and the marketers together and try to create relationships, monetizable relationships. So the campers out front are for meetings. We've got, I think, 6 or 7 of them, and they're air conditioned, and we just want to create a great environment for ideas to spark. We were having a conversation at the office a few days ago. Our first New Front, this is our 4th, so we started it 3 years ago, about 1,000 days. And 1,000 days ago, when we had our first one, we really thought, you know what, we're making this marketplace. And it was a little bit of a struggle. We had a lot of clients there, and our clients got it. They understood what it was all about, but the budgets weren't necessarily there. There was a lot of convincing that had to go on. There hadn't been a case study in place to say, this is why you move your money from this place to that place. And in the years since, a number of things have happened. Technology is a lot different than it was before, so just viewing things in broadband, it's a better experience. There's more people, there's more tonnage in terms of both the content and the viewership, and social has blown the whole thing up because content can be shared not just by marketers who want to spend a lot of money to drive traffic to it, by people like you and I who are interested in the content and want to share it with others. So we're at a place right now where we don't necessarily have to push our clients too much on the idea of content. They get it even more now than before, and they actually have all done some of these engagements themselves, and they see the results. Just 2 nights ago, we won a Silver Effie for American Express Unstaged, and we'll be talking about that today at this New Front. And we won a Gold Effie, was shortlisted for the Grand Effie for Real Women of Philadelphia from Kraft, with Paula Deen, who was on our stage a few years ago. And the results on those were astounding. So we needn't go any further than that.
I know it's very hard to give a number or a percentage, but how much of the digital buy is, or online video buy, how big a piece of the pie is branded content? I mean, that's probably an impossible number, but anecdotally.
It is kind of impossible. I think there's a little context to that, which is that working media is not really working so well on its own anymore. And I think clients typically today still want to optimize their amount of working media to non-working media. What we have to do is we have to start spending a lot more in non-working in order to get all that earned media that we get. So it might look, instead of a typical ratio, which might be 80% working to 20% non-working, it might be more like 50-50 or 40-60 or something like that. So for clients who really are going in full bore, their mix is starting to look a lot different. For others who are still kind of wading their way in, it doesn't look that much different than it looked in the past. They're still sort of testing it out and seeing what works and what doesn't.